What's up? What's up? Welcome to Talk Sit. This is Ash, your neighborhood ninja, and I'm here with Manny Fresh and my brother KFT, and this is part 2 of the Shaggy 2 Dope interview.
You know, it's crazy on my side. The first thing that got me involved with you was the wrestling part.
Yeah,
And
a lot of people,
when I saw you wearing a Rayo de Jalisco mask or Pierrot and all them, I was like, what the fuck were they wearing that shit for?
Uh-huh.
You know, because we grew up with Lucha Libre and shit.
yeah.
Like, oh, they like wrestling. And then we saw, we heard about Stranglemania and you guys doing your commentary and all that, which we used to do.
Amazing.
We used to do our own backyard shit and film it. And I remember I used to do commentary and I was all nice and clean with my words and shit.
Yeah.
And then I watched Stranglemania. And next thing you know, the next one was, and I'm like, he fucked him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I'm,
You know what's crazy, dog? The craziest part about that shit, dog, that I've realized now is it took me a long time to want to give us credit for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because yo, you're gonna ask Manny. I'm not the type of dude to sit there and you know who I am, motherfucker, and flex my credentials and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yo, one thing that it took me a long time, like I said, to come to terms with it. But I believe now that us coming out with Stranglemania, anybody that's involved with wrestling whatsoever knows about that shit. Either they love it or hate it or whatever the fuck, but they know about it. From Vince McMahon to whoever the fuck runs AAA in Mexico to fucking whoever runs the fucking English wrestling, you know what I'm saying, to Japanese wrestling, they all know Stranglemania, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that tape back in the day changed the way that commentary was done. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not with WWF and shit like that, but in all the lower shits, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not on televised and shit like that, where you can talk like that. It changed the game in commentary, I think, you know?
No, I think definitely 100%.
Oh, it changed us, definitely. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, but that's
Well, you
true.
don't know what,
I
man?
wish.
That shit changed us too. We changed with you. That's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know why we did it. We just thought it'd be funny, and everybody else thought it was too, you know?
I just wish you knew, the gold that it felt that we were holding when we'd hold the Stranglemania tapes.
Yeah, when we watched it.
I wish you knew that, god damn, we got it. And then 2 came out. We're like, we got 2. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think I do know that magic a little bit because all those tapes that you saw, all those matches you saw on both of those Stranglemanias back in the day was just straight up jacked and ripped off from Japanese footage that we found with no commentary on it.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't pay him shit. We didn't clear it. We just fucking took it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't
shit.
pay none of those wrestlers. We didn't clear nothing. We just fucking put it out. So I probably felt a little bit like that when we found the second round of those fucking tapes with no commentary on them. We were like, yes, we can come out with another fucking 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ordered more and we found some with no commentary. We were so geeked. We were like, yes, we can come out with 2. Fuck yeah.
Man.
The thing that you did for sure was those wrestlers. I don't give a fuck what their real names are. We call them what the fuck they were called on Stranglemania
Yeah.
to this day.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh shit, it's Lama Namanumi.
Yeah.
You want
to know something?
What's up?
I'll give Cactus Jack endless fucking ends, man. Mick Foley gets endless props for me. Well, number one, for being a fucking just great guy. You know what I'm saying? Super awesome person. You couldn't ask for a fucking more awesome person to chill with, you know? But when we were shooting Big Money Hustlers back in the day, our movie, Mick Foley was in it, and he was a big star in the WWE at that time, you know, fucking huge. And his gimmick was Sacco, I'm sure as you guys remember. So in the movie, because he was in Stranglemania's Cactus Sack, he was like, you guys mind if I call Sacco Sacco? Because I'm Cactus Sack. And we were like, yo, that's fucking dope. Fuck yeah, call it Sacco. You know what I'm saying? He came up with that. He was cool as shit with the whole thing that we did. And both, we saw Mick Foley when we were in WWE. We saw him, we saw him backstage, you know what I'm saying? Because we're, all in the same locker room and shit. And, we approached, he was like, hey, man, what's up with that Stranglemania? He was just fucking around, you know what I'm saying? And we're like, look, man, we know we took it, all that shit. He was like, no, I don't want nothing to do. I don't want anything. And we were like, look, man, please just take it. We're gonna give you $5,000 cash. You know what I'm saying? Take it. You know what I'm saying? And call it even, I guess. He was like, no, I'm good. We were like, please take it. He took it. You know what I'm saying? And we've been great. Now Terry Funk, he was a big one on those tapes too. Drunk Terry Funk.
Yep.
One of the illest nights of my life. It was fucking insane. I don't even know. It's like a weird dream. But we were on the road. We had Sabu out on the road with us, and we were in Texas by Amarillo, Texas. So Sabu's like, all right, let me holler at Terry Funk. Let me see, maybe we can stop by there or whatever. I'm just like, oh, just stop by there, or just with the bus? He's like, yeah, we just pull the bus up on his ranch. I'm like, what the fuck? So because Terry Funk and Sabu are like it's like father and son almost, you know what I'm saying? And so Sabu called Terry Funk. He's like, fuck yeah, bring the boys by, you know? Excuse me. And so we're on our bus, you know what I'm saying? There's like fucking 10 of us, you know? And so we pull our bus onto the fucking Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. Straight the fuck up. You go under the fucking big ass gate, like those Texas gates. You guys know what the fuck is up with those ranches.
Yeah.
And it says Double Cross fucking Ranch. And you go up in that bitch and you wind up the fucking road or whatever to a fucking ranch house. You know what I'm saying? And out comes Terry Funk and his wife. They greet us and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God. And we go inside. We're talking to Terry Funk, and his wife cooks us fucking cornbread and beans and shit, you know. And then so Terry Funk's like, come on, fellas. And we go outside, and he has us getting these two big ass, old ass beat up pickup trucks. And you know, this is like wherever Amarillo was in Texas, I think like Central Texas or something. So it's like that like fucking, you know, it is that fucking ground. It was all bumpy and shit.
Yeah.
This motherfucker just ripping through the shit. And so we stop at this. It's like he's showing us all these old cabooses and shit. He collects cabooses, so he has them like all nice looking on all over his ranch and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so we stop at a milking barn, an old milking barn he had restored. I guess where they made some milk cows. I don't know. That's what a milking barn. I guess. I don't know. I've never milked a cow, so I don't know. But so we're just all sitting in there, and I especially was not the least bit of a weed smoker back then. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like I didn't smoke for shit. I didn't eat edibles, nothing. You know, and so Terry Funk's like, yo, let's smoke a joint. So we all smoked with Terry Funk, and I was just fucking high as shit, dog. And Terry Funk was telling us these stories about Patrick Swayze and Roadhouse, about how everybody thought he was gay because he liked to dance and this and that. And he's just like, oh, just all jolly and like it was, and I'm high as shit, so it was bugging me the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, coming back to it and shit, you know what I'm saying? We were talking to him, we were like, yo, we had you in Stranglemania, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, I know. And we're like, we want to just chip you off like 5 G's if you're cool with that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, fuck no. He's like, I ain't taking your money. He's like, hell no, it's fucking funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, whatever you boys, man, whatever, I don't care, you know? He's like, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, absolutely not. So then he wouldn't accept it, You know what I'm saying? So I can't remember before we left where we put it, but we put it like behind like a flower pot or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like a cash in an envelope. And then we bounced off, and then we had Sabu talk to his wife and tell him where it was at. You know what I'm saying? So he could not take it, you know?
That's what's
And
up.
and that was cool. Cause you know what I'm saying? Because we did not want to compensate his ass, you know what I'm saying? Because that shit, Drunk Terry Flunk was a fucking hit, you know? But we just wanted to show our appreciation, you know? We didn't want to rip him off or nothing like that, you know? Lama Namanumi and Deadly Fred didn't get shit, though.
What about Chuck Hogan's?
Nope, nobody ever knew who he was, really. nobody ever really knew who he was, yeah. Sweet baby bitch ass, none of those guys, none of them got paid.
That fucking shit, man. Yeah, Stranglemania for sure changed my life too, man. Like you don't even know. Like we got a homie, and he's always like, "Man, remember that night we watched Stranglemania?" I'm like, "Yeah, what about it?" He's like, "It's the best night of my life," and like he's like almost 40 now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, you want to know what? It's crazy too how that came about, Stranglemania in general, because like originally Jay had just ordered some tapes from the back of a wrestling magazine, you know, because he collected wrestling tapes because we were wrestling marks to the fullest, you know. And I mean, we wrestled independents, all that shit before that, you know. And so they came and we used to watch the fuck out of them. We're just sitting there watching them, and it's just these ridiculous death matches. You know what I'm saying? This is before. This one ECW was still pretty much underground. That's where ECW got the shit from. You know what I'm saying? All their ideas and all that, the FMW and all that shit back in the day. And so we're just watching this shit like, what the fuck? And we watch it so many times, and then we're finally realizing, we're like, yo, there's no fucking commentary on this. And our boy that was working for us at the time, he was like, I got a mixer at my crib, you know, I could plug a couple microphones into it. We could just run it through it and just make a silly tape out of it. You know what I'm saying? We're like, fuck yeah. So originally we did it at our boy's house just to fuck around and have a tape of it, just to pop it in for our homies and laugh. You know what I'm saying? And then, so we did it, and we were like, yo, this shit is dope. So we're like, fuck this. And we went, well, we thought it was a real studio, you know what I'm saying? But it was just some like dude's house that had some video shit in it. And we did the actual Stranglemania 1 with a little intro and shit. And you know what I'm saying? The rest is whatever, you know, but that's how that shit came about. We were just fucking around at our homie's crib and just did it to be silly. And we were like, oh, fuck, you know? So it's just crazy how shit like that comes about, you know, sometimes.
Oh, well, remember,
Definitely, man.
I don't know if you remember well, it was the first JCW tour. You guys went to Denver and shit. We were there, and I kind of want to tell you a story
what was his
about
name?
that.
First B was that DJ, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he wrestled with us. We did triple because I think that was the first match, the first stop we made on that tour. I think was in Denver.
man, what a night.
Maybe
dude.
it wasn't. I don't know, but regardless, I remember that DJ Willie B guy was wrestling with us. Is that the same one you're talking about?
Yeah, from KBPI.
Yeah, I can't remember the call letters, but I remember that guy.
When you guys won the match and shit, I was like front row, but at the end, like where the ramp goes up, and then I was like, oh shit, fuck, here comes Shaggy, like son of a bitch. Fuck yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna give him a pi 5 or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Well, not at that time, but a 5, you know? Well, the fan girl in me, when you came by, I just fucking grabbed you and pulled you in the crowd. I don't know if you remember that.
Man, I don't know, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then boom, well.
Did you
I'm like,
grope
what
him,
the fuck
bro?
is he doing?
Exactly. Did you grope him?
It was
Did you grope him?
1,000 grope.
No, I didn't.
Did I get mad or I just play it off like
No,
it didn't happen? What'd I do?
Yeah, you got up
Oh, you
and then
went
you
with
jumped, you crowd surfed. But what's
I
funny?
accepted the grope.
No, yeah, you did.
Well, you know what? I hope there's a statute of limitations on that because I might have to press charges now.
Yo, but so you're trying to crowd
Little
surf, right?
sexual harassment. What's that?
You were trying to crowd surf and you couldn't like push off nothing, so you straight pushed off my homie's face. Like I seen your boot on his face, and you're just like, boom.
Oh, God damn! Tell your boy I'm sorry, man. I didn't know. Well, I probably did. I just didn't give a shit at that
Yeah,
time.
you
but
did.
tell
You're
him
like,
I'm
fuck
sorry.
this guy. Well, fucking my brother KFT was over there jacking your arm pads and shit. He jacked you, so tell him something about that.
Oh shit! Hey, I guess that's just all part of the game back then, man. Whatever. Well, I hope he still got it. He jacked me. I hope he still got the motherfucking whatever he jacked me. I hope he still got it.
I don't know how the fuck, but I got both of them. Because I was on one side, and think about it, I'm in a crowd.
What is it now that you got? What is it? Shoes, you said?
No, the arm
No,
pads.
your arm pads?
Oh, who gives a shit about those? I thought it was something important. Well, good, you can have
It's
those.
still the shit though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's dope.
That shit was fresh, man. What a night.
You know what? It used to be fucking ill as shit too. And I had it, and I know somebody must have took it from my fucking house because I know I had it in my crib, and it's not here now. It's one of my old JCW tag team belts. And I had it just a couple of years ago, long after, you know what I'm saying, that we've used them, the ones that we had. But I'd say probably like at least 5 pairs of tag team belts. For some stupid fucking reason, I don't know why we do this, but we go up to like the top of the turnbuckle after we won a match and we throw our fucking belts in the crowd.
Oh, what the fuck?
What? Yeah, straight up. Like Joe did it way past when I did it. He kept doing it. We're like, yo, stop fucking doing that. These bitches are like $1,000 to make, man. He's like, what, do they cost that much? It's like, yeah, man, stop throwing them in the fucking crowd, dog. I kept my last one, and I don't know where it's at now. I wish I had it because I want to put it up on my wall, but I can't. I don't know where the fuck I put it, or somebody took it. You know what I'm saying?
Your first stop on because it was the first tour of JCW.
I remember that clearly because I broke my face and neck on that tour. Fuck. So yeah, I remember that tour very good. But that let me tell you something about that tour, man. That's like that tour was fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
It was it was dog. Every fucking stop we made, it was sold out, packed to the fucking rack. Like I've never, even being in WCW, WWF, all that shit,
Right.
I've still to this day have never seen shit like we did on that first JCW tour. Like being in that ring with that fucking rabbit of a fucking crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've never even seen the ECW crowd, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like undescribable how fucking hype that shit was, you know what I'm saying? And even though I fucked myself up on there, I wouldn't take it back or change a fucking thing, you know what I'm saying? Because that shit was just too fucking hype, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I broke all my shit up because like every night on that tour, and you got to figure, man, we were not streaming this shit. We weren't even taping it. Besides like one match, I think one card we taped. So we were just doing this for. Back then, nobody had the fucking cameras on their phones, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and we didn't let cameras in. So we were just doing this just for like the fucking like couple thousand people in attendance, you know what I'm saying? Like what it was like fucking like from like 2 to like 5,000, I think, people a night, you know what I'm saying?
Holy shit.
And we were just fucking every night. Everybody on that card was wrestling like it was WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? We were putting our bodies through it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it took its toll, you know what I'm saying? And the night we were supposed to be filming, well, we did film. We were in what the fuck was it? It was in Milwaukee. No, not Milwaukee. Uh Milwaukee. What the fuck is it? Milwaukee? Where's the rave at? Yeah, Milwaukee. In the Eagle Ballroom, it was like 7,000 people or something like that. And we were in a steel cage match. It was me, Jay, and Vampiro versus the guys that we used to wrestle every night. It was Big Flame, Neil, and
Yeah.
Bob. It was like
I
they had
remember
the
him.
gay gimmick and all that, you know.
Right.
And and whatever happened. But I felt the top of the steel cage with one of the guys like twisted, and I felt like on my face, on his knee, and it just cracked my whole face and broke my nose and cracked my eye sockets and my neck. And but I finished the match somehow.
God.
But
You know.
but but even with that happening and all that, you know what I'm saying? It's still that fucking. But like I said, everybody wrestling like fucking WrestleMania every night in front of that crowd. People were just doing shit that you normally wouldn't try doing. So you know, you're trying to do a spot at the from the top of a fucking steel cage. You know what I'm saying? Some Jimmy Superfly Snooker shit, but
Yeah.
with two people at the top of the fucking top of the cage. You know, I was trying to get like that fucking backwards body slam like thing that Razor Ramon does, but from the top of the cage. You know what I'm saying? Down to the
Oh.
mat.
Oh shit.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
he got shook and held on, and so we twisted, you know, to the top of the cage, and we twisted, and whatever though. I still don't blame him, you know what I'm saying? He
Right.
was my homie and shit, you know what I'm saying? But shit happens, you know what I'm saying? The shit was high, you know, up in the air. But my point being that we are all every night out there putting it out for just whoever was in the building, you know, not even like pay-per-view or a stream, nothing that didn't even exist back then, you know. And I think it's in without even never even seeing none of the footage of none of that shit because we didn't use any of the footage because it just looked too fucking bad. The match after I fucked myself up, I was walking around like a zombie because I was trying to finish the match pretty much unconscious. You know what I'm saying? And it was just too much blood because I busted my whole face open. So I never even seen this shit. I never seen nothing from that whole tour, nothing. And it was still one of the dopest shits ever to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Just because it
definitely.
was so much fun and it was just every night it was just so fucking electric and live in them houses. You know what I'm saying? We had so much fun beating the shit out of each other. It was dope, man.
And then you chose
That's cool.
the leg drop for your finisher, which you got a beautiful leg drop. I'm not kissing ass either. Like if it sucked, I would have told you, then that shit's whack. Cause yours compares to like Psicosis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, thank you. But you
He
know,
was like, with all due respect,
Exactly. With all due respect, because it's in the Geneva Convention. But
yeah, but your leg drop.
you know, you're cool, but when it comes to leg drops, here's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Nah, your shit's fresh.
But
as
you know
fuck.
what? That's the only thing in wrestling I don't regret shit. You know what I'm saying? But I regret a little bit, like a tiny bit, that was my finishing move because I'm pretty sure, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a fucking rocket scientist or all that good shit, but I think from years of doing leg drops from the top rope is the reason why my back is so fucked
Oh
up.
fuck
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And like, so there's one thing I could have changed. If I probably would have picked a different finishing move, but I can't say that because at the time I didn't know I was gonna fuck my back up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I probably couldn't have came with nothing that looked sweeter than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought that was pretty rude. I'm like, fucking leg drop from the top rope. I didn't even know that existed when I did it. I didn't even know why I did it in the first place. You know?
Was it because of Hogan or what?
No question, 100%.
Okay.
When I was a little kid, that $1,000,000,000%. That was always my move was a leg drop because of the Hogan. And I just tried to elevate it more, you know, because of ECW and shit, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we were like kids doing the backyard wrestling, like super backyard wrestling, super little kid shits, I had a gimmick called the White Tiger where I wore like a mask and it was like all white with like tiger stripes. And and that was my finishing move was just a normal leg drop, you know what I'm saying? So I just never let that go even as an adult and getting older, you know what I'm saying? I just started doing from the top rope instead, you know? But like that, I just always like stuck to like grabbing the top rope and slingshotting yourself over and doing it like Sabu style, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, this is always my shit. But it definitely it did its number on my back. You know, I've had like 2 fusions on my no, I've had fusions in my neck. No fusions on my back, but I've had 3 operations on my back for herniations.
Damn.
And yeah, it sucks, man. I wouldn't curse back problems on my worst enemy, man. But you deal with it, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I still wouldn't have changed the shit because it was worth it, man. It's part of my legacy, you know.
No, it's a fucking beautiful thing.
So
Seriously.
since we're talking about wrestling history, brother, we had a little discussion a couple weeks ago with like who we grew up on and who our favorite wrestlers were and stuff. And then, like I says, I'm a little bit older than these 2 young guys, so
Yeah.
I was like, I had a different era. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
who did you like look? Who did you look up to?
Come on, man. Yeah, you already know what it is, man. Fuck.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Saturday night's main event type shit, dog. We're talking British Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Fuck
We're
yeah.
talking about the OG Heart Foundation and the blue. You know what I'm saying? Fuck
Blue.
that pink shit.
Yup.
I don't
We're
know.
talking about fucking just man, all them boys. Fucking the old school Saturday morning fucking rock and wrestling. Fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Jimmy Snuka, Don Morocco, fucking Ivan Putski, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it goes on. I can go on for days. It don't stop to me with just the shit you saw on TV too, because I was a full blown wrestling mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was in the Detroit shit like Crybaby George Cannon and fucking the Sheik and Bobo Brazil and the fucking coach and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? So my shit was like a little bit deeper than just what was on TV, but it's a really small kid. Yeah, it was definitely like Jimmy Snuka, Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on Saturday mornings and shit that you would see. And then from NWA, of course, it would be Ric Flair and it'd be the Road Warriors
Fuck yeah.
and the Freebirds the fucking 4 Horsemen and shit like that, you know. So it was always like top dogs and all that from whatever division. Of course, in Detroit, we didn't see a lot of NWA and shit like that or AWA. You had to like have some obscure fucking channels to be able to see that. We just saw like local wrestling and WWF a lot, you know. But real wrestling fans would know because they'd still come through town, you know what I'm saying? And you have to follow the storylines just like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? That would come through your local shows and shit. That's how you follow storylines through NWA and all that. They had their big show. They come to Kobo, you know. I hope that I just went off on some left field tangent. You asked me who my favorite wrestlers when I was a kid, and I'm just going off on some old school wrestling knowledge. My bad.
Oh hell no.
No, you're
No,
good, man.
man, it's
All day.
good.
But yeah, definitely, I would say, you know, back when like Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura would commentate, you know what I'm saying? That would be my shit right there. You know, the fucking Lord Alfred Hayes when he'd be commentating with Jesse Ventura, Gorilla Monsoon, you know, and even when Vince McMahon would be commentating when he first started commentating,
Nah,
you
he
know.
was the man.
Yeah, so I mean, all my guys came from like the fucking like 80 to like 85. You know what I'm saying? Is like was the impressionable boys when I was a little kid, you know, watching wrestling, you know. And most of them were all the 80s big beer gut fucking wrestling, just tough guys, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody had like physiques and wore panties back then, you know what I'm saying? They wore burlap sacks that came up to their chest, you know what I'm saying? Like Nikolai Volkov and had barrel chests and shit. You know what I'm saying? They just took mad steroids and didn't work out. They just ate like crazy, you know? but that was the shit back there. Those guys were scared the fuck out of you. It wasn't just about getting wrestled by those guys. They beat the fuck out of you. They wouldn't just wrestle you. You scared the shit out of those motherfuckers. Those bad guys would come out, man, and you'd authentically think they were gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Even being a little kid, you thought they were gonna punch you in the face. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so dope about it.
Yeah, they don't do that shit no more. But so,
Well, you can't. You know, everybody's soft now.
so I was telling Manny the other day
Exactly.
on our last show, I was telling him that I believe, and nothing's gonna change my mind, just gimmick wise. I think the Ultimate Warrior is untouchable. It's just the best gimmick
Oh,
ever.
Doug, I mean, I would agree with you if Hulk Hogan wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? But I could never. I don't give a fuck. Technical, whatever your categories, whatever. Just on a whole, to me, Hulk Hogan could never be fucked with. Just because I went through Hulkamania when I was a kid,
Right.
so I got to experience being in the arena and nobody leaving until Hulk Hogan left. You know what I'm saying? Like we would stay in everybody, the whole arena, we'd stay in our seats. Nobody'd get up when Hulk Hogan was like the second you knew Hulk Hogan was wrestling anything, you wouldn't leave your fucking seat because you didn't want to blink your eye when Hulk Hogan was out. And then after he beat who the fuck he was gonna beat, he would stay in the ring for at least 20 minutes flexing and turning the fucking crowd out.
Damn.
And nobody would nobody would try to beat traffic. Nobody would try to get a fucking soda pop. Nobody tried to pinch a loaf or take a piss. You would sit in your fucking seat. You stand in your seat trying to look over the fucking head in front of you just to catch Hulk Hogan doing his last little fucking flex and his putting his hand on his ear to get you to cheer. You know what I'm saying? Then once he finally fucking hit the curtain, you'd still wait about a good 3 to 5 minutes just to make sure he didn't come back out and you missed it. You know what I'm saying? That's the electricity that Hulk Hogan bring. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never seen it since. But then again, I ain't been a kid since. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, when you get fascinated by something when you're a kid, it's way more fascinating to you than when you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? So that's to me why Hogan could never be fucked with. And the Ultimate Warrior, yo, he's a fucking great second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
He's up there with like, you know, he's up there with the Macho Man status, Hogan status, no question. But Hogan's the Michael Jackson. Hogan's the Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He's not to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? Sure, you get compared to Hogan. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to beat him. You know what I'm saying? You get compared to Jordan. Everybody. Okay, LeBron's the new Jordan. Everybody's the new Jordan. The Weeknd's the new Michael. Everybody's the new Michael.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? This is the new Hogan. Everybody's the new Hogan. You know what I'm saying? He put the stamp on like that.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
WrestleMania against The Rock, how they did the whole shit where it was feud
best
and
shit ever.
Hogan was heel. And when it came down to that match, Hogan took over that bitch like no other. And
he had to, dog. I mean, he had to.
To me, it's the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. Not performance, but the way Hogan took it, that shit is just one of the best ever. I get goosebumps talking about that shit.
I swear to God, when you were talking, I had goosebumps too. I fucking swear to you. I'm not lying to you, dog. I still got them. Just thinking about that shit. I remember watching that, and I remember thinking the same shit, dog. And of course, like to me, the only match that could fuck with that is like Andre versus fucking Hogan WrestleMania 3, you know, because I was there. You know, I was that age. You know, I was a kid. But that match, dog, to me, like, was just like, that wasn't just handing the torch to Rock. You know what I'm saying? That was just like rolling the red carpet out. That was like, to me, that was just like Hogan and The Rock both. You know what I'm saying? Even though The Rock was like, he wasn't green by no means by then, but he was definitely not a vet by that point. You know what I'm saying? And just the way he was able to work with Hogan and follow Hogan's lead and realize the situation that Hogan was in, he was the heel, but still he was the most over motherfucker in that match. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody, you know what I'm saying? There's no question. You know what I'm saying? That Hogan was way more over than The Rock. But The Rock was just as over. You know, The Rock was over too. You know what I'm saying? So the way that they treated that and the way they danced with that shit, dog, was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And the way that Hogan passed the torch and the way that The Rock accepted it, the way he took it, you know, the respect that he gave him in the ring and all that shit was phenomenal, I thought, you know. It was just stellar the way they did it. You know, it was real good.
Yeah, the Canadian crowd wasn't playing, man. They weren't having that shit. Him as the heel, and then
Yeah, they weren't.
you can see
No,
the look in the
let me
Rock's
tell you something,
face.
dog. Let me
Like,
tell you something. I'm sorry, man, to cut you off, but
no.
it wouldn't have mattered where they're at. Hogan would have been over. Nobody was taking him as a heel in that match. There's no question. When I seen it, it didn't matter, dog, because I was at home fucking marked out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was a Hogan mark for that match.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when Hogan was in a weird standing with wrestling too. You know what I'm saying? Like he just like would disappear and not be around forever, you know, and pop back up because his beef with Vince or whatever the fuck, you know. But yeah, that was a beautiful thing, man. It really was.
Greatest match of all time.
Well, I would humbly agree to disagree, but I agree that you believe that.
Wait, what did he say? What'd you say?
Huh? Oh, he has said that that The Rock versus Hulk Hogan was the best match ever.
No, fuck that.
Performance.
He said fuck that.
But
no, I ain't knocking it. I ain't knocking it. It was fucking great. I just happened to see Andre versus Hogan WrestleMania 3. That's the problem, you know.
I'm a Sean Brett guy.
Oh, come on, dog.
Sean Brett guy.
I know, but fucking, I don't know. You gotta watch WrestleMania 3 again. You gotta see like fucking Ricky Steamboat and them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because Shawn Michaels and all those guys, that was the blueprint for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That whole card was just phenomenal.
It was, because everybody fucking put it on like they never had before, you know?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it was the biggest crowd.
Picture being a wrestler and being on that fucking card, dog, at that time in wrestling, dog. That was, there wasn't other promotions that were like WWF. You know, the WWF didn't even acknowledge other promotions that were fucking so huge. You know what I'm saying? Like NWA didn't exist. Fucking WCW didn't exist. Nothing existed. AWA didn't exist. The regions didn't exist. None of that did. It was just WWF according to them, you know? And and just so and that's what your average wrestling fan back then thought. They didn't know about the wrestling shit because WWF was all they saw on TV, all they saw in the stores, all they saw. They didn't know about the other wrestling shits. So anybody that was in the wrestling only knew WWF. So when that fucking card came down, you know, picture that. There was no other wrestling in the world that anybody else was checking out besides that card. You know what I'm saying? So it was so much pressure on them. It was so much pressure on all of those matches to deliver. You know what I'm saying? You know, picture being on one of those matches. It must have been like, holy fuck, man. You'd have been fucking putting everything plus some in, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely, man.
When WCW was more available, why it grew so big? Because we only had WWF at the time. And then once we got our hands on something else, we're like, shit, check out this flavor.
No, well, on top of that, WWF, they started getting all like, you know, they started getting weak with it. It was all like fluorescent colors and it was too family friendly and shit. And WCW started coming out with good ass wrestling, you know, because they were using all the talent from all the old talent from NWA and all that shit, you know.
Ric Flair and shit, man.
You knew
so they had all those guys. So
first hour felt like watching that first hour because remember they used to put in all the luchadores. Like Psicosis,
of course, WCW, that was the greatest. Like the cruiserweight shit, I loved it. Yeah, and you know what?
And even the way
I was lucky enough to get to work with those guys. You know what I'm saying? I was so lucky. I got to work with Ray, fucking Hoovy, fucking Eddie, all them guys. You know what I'm saying?
None but
Conan, all those guys, and it was dope as fuck because I was able to work like an actual lucha match, which was fucking great because I don't know how to wrestle lucha style for shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not an aerial guy. But I was able to wrestle an authentic lucha match in XPW in LA with Vamp versus Damien 666 in Halloween. And they didn't speak English. I don't speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Vamp is like bilingual as fuck. You know what I'm saying? He speaks Spanish with no accent. He speaks English with no accent. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just translation. So when you're in the ring with somebody, I'm not in the ring with Vamp and this guy. I'm just in the ring with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Who don't speak English. So the only communication we got is remembering what we went over with the fucking translator. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I kind of would just like, I was like, yo, just grab me and I'll jump the way you want me to to go. And I'll go that way. You know what I'm saying? So half the time, I don't even know where the fuck I was at in the ring because those motherfuckers were flipping me around so goddamn crazy. But I kept up with them. You know what I'm saying? That was the dope part. And I don't remember if we won or lost, but I remember I had a lot of fun doing that match. I threw up after that match because I was so blew up. I
God,
remember that shit.
yeah, fuck Lucha Libre. I like
Wow.
wrestling it. Fuck that. I couldn't do that either.
Because that
Yeah,
shit
that
ain't
shit
easy.
exhausts me so hard. No, fuck no, dog. It's called being blew up. You know what I'm saying? You get blew up running to the ring. This match starts and you're already energy, you'll be fucked up. You got like wrestling, you gotta pace yourself really, and you gotta be like be able to breathe, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be more what do you call that? When you jog and shit, cardio.
Your
Yeah.
cardio.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like be able to like, endurance and shit, because that shit, man, you think of fucking like it looks easy, a 5-minute match on TV. That's why those motherfuckers are dripping sweat like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit, especially under those lights, woo, that shit is fucking, ooh, man, that shit is tough. You know what I'm saying? But it's the love for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so physically exhausting, but the love for it outweighs anything. You know, the injuries, the fucking tiredness, the pain, it outweighs all of it. Obviously, otherwise, motherfuckers wouldn't still do it. You know.
No, hell yeah. But
Yeah.
you know what, Shaggy?
Definitely, man.
Two things to tell you real quick. That I love to see about you. Like it's the new side of you. I love to see that you're a great dad. You know what I mean? I really like seeing that shit. A great father. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, yeah. Oh man, thank you. But I mean, I just think I do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's funny because I say that a lot because I grew up with no dad.
Yeah.
Most everybody I know grew up with no dad. So I just feel like I'm doing what I would have liked in a dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
And so I don't feel like I'm being some wonderful above average great dad. I just feel like I'm being there for my kids, And nowadays that's just taken as being a great dad because you're just there being a dad, But yeah, of course. I mean, I love my kids, man. And if you love your kids like that, it's like, how could you not be a great dad, It's like, that's all I give a shit about is them, So
Tell me once, because it was when he had his kid, and then he came up to me and he was like, you know what, man? The way that I'm dealing with this, what I'm doing with my son and everything, like, if I can do this, why couldn't my fucking dad do this shit? You know what I mean?
exactly.
Right.
And it's
My
like,
dad
for real.
bounced, Yeah.
Yeah, our father bounced too, man. We grew up with no dad either.
Yeah.
Same way,
Exactly. I really don't know, like a lot of people that did grow up with fathers,
Yeah,
A
what
lot
the
of people didn't
fuck,
grow up
man?
with moms neither,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just being the parent that you wish you had, and it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy doing this shit, whatever. You got to wake up early, take your kid to school. Big fucking deal.
Oh,
You're an
it's a
adult. Deal
beautiful
with
thing,
it. Oh, man, no, get the fuck out of here. You had a kid, handle that,
Yeah. Well, the other thing I wanted to see, I had a challenge for you that maybe we could do sometime. Hopefully,
All right, let's hear it. Man, I'm a sucker for challenges. I have a very difficult time turning them down.
It's kind of whack, but I just think it'd be fun. You know what I mean? The Talks Hit versus Pelcast Cook Off.
Oh, cook off?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with that. I'd be down, but the problem is this: you guys would probably come with some fantastic food, and we'd probably be
Nah,
feeding you
fuck
some
no.
shit.
No, I ain't got shit.
But I'm
That's
down
right
for the
now.
challenge.
All right, fuck it. Let's do this shit sometime. We'll set it up. Cause I
No
don't know how
doubt,
to
man.
cook for
Hey,
shit.
I know our show ain't going nowhere, so I'm down for whenever. You know what I'm saying? When we got some
Hell
time,
yeah,
I'll come out there and cook. I can't cook for shit, but I grill a little bit. I'll cook some shit.
Yeah, I'll
When they
figure something.
watched they watched the Patreon podcast,
Oh, yeah.
the Patreon and the cook off. So they were like, because they hit me up and afterwards they were like, Manny, man, was that food good? And I was like, hell yeah, man. I said, it was hard. I said, that's why we had to go with
Both
3
those
eggs,
recipes
man.
I got from my wife. I don't know how to do shit like cook in the oven and stuff. I don't know how to do none of that. Shit sounds like give me some easy shit that we love eating around here that I could fucking put up there really quick.
Hell yeah.
That shit was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun too.
Fuck yeah, I like the way Jay was getting pissed and shit, irritated with you guys. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. All that shit streaming is fun.
Him and Jump Steady was taking that shit to the heart, man. They were going at it, man. Oh, I still remember that. That was crazy, man. The big ass Congo next to me and Chuck Wagon. I was all hot and shit. Oh man. But check it out, man. Before we go. Yeah, I was in the middle, man. I was in the middle.
Right.
There's a whole lot of heat. I was like, there's a whole lot of heat coming off that end of the table.
Oh,
so,
man,
so check it out,
like
Shag.
the atom of the nucleus right there. It's mad hot.
Exactly. So check it out, brother. Before we go, man, how can people that haven't been living under a rock, bro, like what do you got going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're with your
Yeah, let me run
Palcast.
down all the handles and shit. If I can remember
Yeah.
all the handles and shit properly. I'm newer to the fucking spewing out the information of how to like watch all the shit game, but I'm gonna try because I gotta fucking learn how to do this shit anyhow. So I know my Instagram is shaggy.icp, right? Isn't that it? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, that's how bad I am. I'm like, yeah, shaggy.icp. And then ICP's is what is ICP's Instagram?
The
Facebook.
real.
It's just Insane Clown Posse, right?
No, it's the real ICP.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
It's the real
ICP,
ICP.
fucking yeah, the real ICP for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's violentj.icp, and that's all the ICP stuff. And then my vlogging and podcast shit. Oh, also ICP will be fully back on Twitch 100% in just like 2 weeks or a week and a half, something like that. And we'll be twice a week. Steady. We're not taking off each and every month. No shit like that. 2 days a week, all year. And then yes. And then so then fuck, look at this shit. I'm so fucking busy. Then Shaggy and the Creep Show shit. We got our Palcast every Tuesday, which is on YouTube. It's called Palcast Pod. You can get to it by that on YouTube. Then our Twitch channel is Twitch/Shaggy and Creep. And we do a Twitch stream. Me and Keegan the Creep every Friday from 8 until 10. And then I do a stream on Twitch, same channel, on Sundays. And then Keegan also does Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Twitch/Shaggy and the Creep. And it's not done, goddammit. Son of a bitch. All right, what the fuck? Now, our vlogs, if you want to check out Shaggy and the Creep vlogs, that's YouTube, Shaggy and Creep Show. And then you can watch 2 years worth of vlogs on there. We're coming out with new vlogs pretty much every week. And you can peep those out. Yes. So Shaggy and the Creep, just Google it. It'll take you to where the fuck you need to go. ICP or Shaggy Tudo or Violent J. It'll take you to wherever you go. You guys aren't fucking idiots. You know how to get to shit.
What about you, K? You got anything for
I'm
Shaggy?
writing all this shit down. Hold on, give me a minute. No, I'm just playing.
You know what? Hey, I want to let you guys know something right quick.
Recorded.
Oh, damn, you didn't hit the record. Fuck, ain't that a bitch? but I'll let you guys know something. That's the first time in history I've ever rattled off all of the contact info like that. And I think I did it all correctly.
Wow. Yeah,
Son of a
man.
bee.
You heard it here first, brother.
That's right.
That was
I'm going to
awesome,
have to
man.
make a card
Thank you,
so I can
man.
read down from it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, man, like I said, bro, you're my boy, man. Thank you. It's been an honor. Thank you for taking the time out to for our fans to check it out and stuff, man. It's been a crazy time, man. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, no question. Thank you guys, man. It was a pleasure, man. It's fucking fun. I love doing this shit, man. And you know what I'm saying? Anything for you guys, man. Manny's my homie. You guys are my homies, man.
That's what I was gonna tell you too. I'm a juggalo for life and everything, but now you got a homie right here. You know, whenever you need me and shit.
Hell yeah.
You know,
that's what's up, man. Fuck yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Honor, true honor.
Thank you, fellas.
Give a thumbs up if you know what's up, and give a thumbs down if you're down.
There you go. Thumbs up and thumbs up and hit the notification and leave comments and likes and all the algorithm shit. There you go. For this, my shit, ICP shit,
Yeah.
all that shit, man. Hit the like buttons, leave comments. Fucking look out for us, assholes.
Content is a shit!